Nama. Welcome to this week's vlog. This week, I just have a little bit of homework for you. In 1981, when I was really channeling the divine download that came from my spiritual lineage and was basically codified by me into this path known in the outer world as holistic fitness, one of those things that came up was an acronym, TAF. TAF is a holistic fitness teaching. It falls under our word choice guru category. And TAF is an acronym that stands for think and feel. Think and feel. It came to me at the right time because I was getting pissed off studying, I was studying molecular sciences, but also a strong bent on neuroscience. And it really kind of dovetailed with the Eastern studies of Zen, where staying in the present moment. And I kept hearing people say, oh, well, I think. And that pissed me off. Now, probably not a lot of people would get pissed off by how many times in the past week, perhaps you've even said, I think it's a beautiful day, or, I think you're wrong, or I think you suck. And that is a great disservice in holistic fitness, because holistic fitness, as in other cultures, we live in a very Socratic Western civilization. The whole I think, therefore I am. Jesus, wow. Our brain is in this little dark dungeon called the skull, and the only way our brain can do what she does is by perceiving in the present moment, perception, providing input, neural feedback to the brain, and remembered past experiences. So that's why in yoga, Patanjali, in the sutras, often the human being will be, in that tradition, referred to as the experiencer or the seer. The groundwork of think and feel, TAF, came to a head because I was tired of people doing a disservice of just saying, oh, well, I think. I wanted something in my studies of being present with people. The best gift that we can give to others is to be present, okay? But we're usually not present when we communicate with people. We're up here in our mind. We kind of lose track of the body because our brains are predictive organs. So that means the brain is not a response mechanism. That would take way too much data, metabolic overload on our biggest metabolic organ. Takes up most of our energy is the brain. But it's doing a disservice to just say, I think, because when we're caught up in I think, only the intellect, that's where predictive error and the lack of feeling in the emotive body perhaps does a disservice to true communication. I wanted my students to think and feel. I wanted you to listen to me, feel the words in the body, and respond from the body and the mind. we are so addicted to the thinking mind that we've lost track of really being present with people, because we are usually manufacturing already in our mind, based on the predictive brain, how to respond. And most of us respond egoically. We're like, oh boy, a lot of my friends are way smarter than me. And a part of my ego is, oh gosh, I need to start manufacturing a response to kind of like at least show I'm not an absolute stupid moron. I want to try to not impress them, but communicate with this more intelligent person that, I can hang with them. I'm in their intellectual zip code. So I'm manufacturing an answer, and all of you do that too. We all do it. Otherwise, you wouldn't understand the next word that's going to come out of it would be weird if I didn't say mouth. So that's proof of your predictive brain. We fire from countless repetitions of hearing the next word out of my mouth. So you're already not listening. You are predicting your response to what you're hearing and ingesting. When I remind myself to say, or my students, I TAF what you're saying, that is an honorable way to say, I have heard you and listen not only with my intellect, but in my body, okay? And responding from the cellular body is much better than it's much more holistic, it's much more whole as a being than being trapped in this intellectual fanfare in the brain only. The sport performance and the lifestyle wellness of TAF is super huge. The mind will dictate our reality, right? For example, I want you to imagine a lemon. Go ahead and cut with a sharp knife the lemon in half and then quarter it. I want you to pick up one of those quarters of the lemon, look at it, smell it, and then sink your teeth into it. So that just proved, because you're probably salivating or responding in some physiologic way, that this imaginary thing in our minds has produced a body feeling, a sensation. So in our endocrine system is activated, it's activating. Our physiologic system is activated. Our hormonal system activated. So when we are locked up in our minds, and if we interact with people, and some people piss us off, some people heighten us, elevate us. So human beings are basically a network of nervous system providers or drainers, and we have to be very careful about staying locked up in our mind, right? Follow? When we operate on TAF, then we run it through our body. So if you're going mano a mano, woman y womano, and you're in a heated discussion maybe with your boss or something's going on, and you start flight or fight syndrome happens, cortisol goes up, and you are overloading immediately your physiologic system, even though it's just intellect and talking. Your body is responding to that. How important would it be before responding to that person to take a body flush, breathe through the physical body, shake out, just breath and posture, holistic fitness lifestyle principle number 1, and just kind of recenter. And then respond to them, I have heard you, and I have felt your words. Huge, absolutely huge. This would actually increase people's compassion, perhaps, once they understand, holy smokes, these people are really feeling in their physical body. Yeah, you are responsible for either, bringing people's vibe down, elevating people's vibe up. Now, sport performance, the impact here of TAF. So many of you know that during that time in the early 80s, I was an extreme athlete, and in many of the sports that I was doing, everything from extreme skiing to ice climbing, pinnacle jumping, free solo, rock climbing, overall just adventuring. Imagine, let's pick one of them. I'm posed above a high mountain couloir that I'm about ready to drop into on my skis. The consequences of falling in this couloir are grave. I visualize the line, and I remember the different perspectives of the mountain, perhaps when I was skinning or boot packing up the couloir. I was taking in features of the mountain, and all the while I'm visualizing, I'm pre-playing my descent, right? This gives me time to TAF it all, process it through my hormonal system, prepare my nervous system, and respond at a heightened level of performance. You know that saying, like, your body looks the way it does because of how you fed it mentally. A sedentary couch potato's body looks like that body because he or she chose not to visualize the chiseled granite hard physique, something like along those lines. It's not right, it's not wrong, it's not good, it's not bad. There's just consequences to everything. The meaning and the visibility and the sacredness that we give to life is right up here and then through the body. I've also used TAF in work with, trauma. It's a big buzzword nowadays. Like, it's almost like if you don't have trauma in your life, like, you're like a loser. Like, everybody uses trauma to as a springboard into some journey that perhaps doesn't really mesh with the reality of remembered past and our sensory present. There are many women that have grown up in cultures where, men are assholes to them, but they show no signs of trauma. They just are absolutely guys are assholes and they move on. They live with it. There's no trauma. There's no metabolic, physiologic, mental health issues. Those same women, they will, go to an Oprah show, and Oprah will be surrounded by these trauma survivors. And then suddenly, for the first time, these women will realize, wow, I've been traumatized. And then all of a sudden, their entire mind body goes awry, and their ability to function in society is compromised. How TAF can help in that situation is if we feel and think in the present moment, then the holistic amplitude of that experience can be understood, and there's no impact on the essence of self, the rasis of who we are. That is why TAF can be such a huge tool. So in this week, if we can just walk around with TAF, if I can TAF brushing my teeth, I can feel the 10,000 sentient beings that brought that plumbing, the water into that, who built the house. So much came into that moment of brush with teeth is huge. And the miracle of the mundane, that I call it, begins to just amplify. And there is no everyday mundane, everyday sacred. So TAF, in the many tools of holistic fitness, whether you study holistic fitness through this vlog, through my many books, through online training, remember, TAF will really help bridge the sometimes huge gap between our inner world and our outer world. So we can start to close the gap from separateness and specificity into wholeness. And that's what this business is all about. I wish to TAF that you heard this Holistic Fitness Dharma talk with both your mind and your body, and that it will be of benefit to you. Comment below. Please subscribe, share, do all that fun stuff. And as Dewa gets closer and closer to taking the leap to college, this vlog is going to get a facelift. It's going to change format, only if you want it. So, blessed be your practice. Nah, ma.